Okay, let's see if I unlocked anything. Side stories! Okay. Trust. Part 1, Part 2. The side stories are students. Okay. Alright. You know what? I still got a little bit of time left. I decided to make these episodes a little bit longer. Because, you know, there's a lot of new stuff. Wait, there's a plus sign there. What does that mean? Oh, no. It's just, you know, the tab. Okay. So I can go for a little bit longer. More than an hour, you know? Because I'm going to be making a bunch of parts if this is going to be like a huge game. So I'm going to extend these over an hour, basically. Begin a side story? Yeah. Oh, nice. That was a nice transition. I can't save, and I can't load. Okay. Okay, everyone. The literature club is starting. Let's all have a seat and take attendance, okay? ... I miss the debate club. Who knew it'd be so difficult to start a new club? I feel worse with every day that passes without anyone coming in. I'm really starting to lose confidence. Monica is the only member of the literature club. In the days that have passed, all of our efforts to recruit new members have been fruitless. Am I going about this wrong? Monica glances at one of her flyers. The headline is, "Do you like literature?" Maybe nobody is into literature enough to pick it over their other club interests. I can't just rely on people liking literature. I need to sell them on a vision. A vision. But what kind of vision? Monica rests her head on her desk, deep in thought. Before she realizes it, the recent nights of staying up too late start to catch up to her. It's so quiet and the noise of the air conditioner is soothing. Hello? Suddenly, a voice causes Monica to snap awake. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I never do this. Is this the napping club? No. This is... Monica pauses, suddenly embarrassed to admit that this is, in fact, the literature club. This is the literature club. Yay! I thought I got it wrong for a sec. There's a club for napping? Let me join that club. I'm super sorry. It was just like so unprofessional for me to do that. Don't apologize. I do it all the time. Oh. Did I miss the club meeting? Where is everybody? Well, about that. This is everybody. Really? Just you? But we're getting new members. I'm just working really hard on it. Hold on a sec. If it's just you... You gonna leave? That means I get to be vice president. Wait, vice president? What are your qualifications? Well, I'm better at napping than you. Maybe I should be president. Now you're just making fun of me. Oh, I'm sorry. What was your name? Sayori. Okay, Sayori. I've been trying really hard for this club. I know you caught me at a weird time, but it's really disheartening to not be taken seriously, you know? I care so much about this. I just want to find other people who do too. Oh no, I don't think she meant it that way. It's just her way of, you know, getting across to people. Monica, Sayori is a bit of a jokester. She's banterous. I do care, I promise. I have a hard time being serious, that's all. I didn't mean for it to hurt you. And And I was joking about the vice president thing too. I would make a terrible vice president. I mean, I'm sure that Monica tries to say something reassuring, but it's difficult when she still doesn't know much about you, Sayori. I'm sorry that this isn't, like, a real club yet. Would you still be interested in joining after I found a few more members, at least? Well, no. I want to join now. Really? Yeah, it sounds like a lot of fun. Besides, I can tell how hard you've been working. You're doing something amazing, and you should be proud of it, you know? So let me help you turn something stressful into something fun. If nothing else, I'm good at that, so... Honestly, how could I possibly say no to that? That's really sweet of you, Sayori. Oh, I'm Monica, by the way. Monica! That's such a cool name! Oh, now you're just trying to cheer me up. But you're smiling. Oh, I didn't say it didn't work. Monica glances at the flyer on her desk and realizes that her name is already written on it. So what do we do first? Well, it's getting pretty late, isn't it? We can go home and try to come up with some new ideas to recruit club members. I can do that. Cool. And I think I need to put some more thought into my vision for the club. You know, like a mission. My mission is to make everyone happy. That's my mission too. I wish I could, but I don't know. I don't know if this game will allow me that. Yeah, something like that. I need to think about it. Hey, do you like hugs? I guess so. Sayori suddenly pulls Monica into a friendly hug, then lets go. Some people can just really use a hug sometimes. Besides, Sayori whispers loudly, hug energy is what keeps me at my best. Hug energy? Monica laughs. Although Sayori is very different from her, Monica feels her spirits lifted. Maybe it's just because she finally found another club member. But... well, I'm looking forward to tomorrow then. It'll be fun. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm gonna think really hard tonight about how to get more people. Yeah, me too. Oh, what a friendship. A day passes and the time comes for the literature club, Monica and Sayori to reconvene. As president, Monica ensures that she's the first to arrive to the club room, but she finds herself waiting longer than expected for Sayori. It's been 10 minutes already. Maybe Sayori changed her mind about joining. Oh no, Monica, don't fall into despair. She's just a sleepyhead. That's all. No, that can't be. She's so excited yesterday. But I'm getting kind of worried. Suddenly, Sayori comes bounding through the door. In her hand, she's holding a sheet of paper. Sorry I'm late. I'm here. It's okay. Welcome back. And Sayori spins over to Monica and deposits the sheet onto Monica's desk. Oh, what's this? Oh, a new poem! Oh! Take my hand. Take my hand, take me forward. Take me to your dreamland. Caution me to watch my step, so I can't look back at my footprints. Climb the stairs ahead of me while I look up to you. The more I look forward, the more I look up. The more I can lend to you. If you can trust me to follow your pace, I'll trust you to set it. If you can trust me to lend you a smile, I'll trust you to return it. Take my hand, take me forward, take me to your dreamland. Oh, adorable! Oh, I'm really liking these side stories. I'm guessing this is obviously a poem about trust and about like cooperation, especially in times that maybe look dire. Teamwork makes the dream work. Hey, this is really good. You wrote this, Sayori? Of course. Wait, no, that's the wrong side of the paper. Huh? I wasn't ready to share that yet. Oh, I'm so embarrassed. Monica flips over the paper. Written on the other side is a list of ideas for recruiting new club members. Oh, so this is what you wanted to show me. But I'm curious now. Do you write poetry often? I do, but I'm sure I'm not anywhere near as good as you are. Really? I'm actually terrible at writing poetry. I've never written anything I was happy with. Like, I always read it again after I write it, and I'm like, wow, this is so stupid. That's me after posting every YouTube video. Oh, are these guys gonna like it? Nah, man, I messed up. I was too cringy at this part. People probably hate how loud I am. I'm a naturally loud person, sorry guys. It's like the dramatic version of me doesn't agree with the person I want myself to be or something like that. Aww. You should have more confidence in yourself, Monica. You're the literature club president. I guess you're not wrong there. I need to, like, set a good example or whatever. You know, I can envision the club doing something like that. Doing what? You know, like sharing poems we write and stuff like that. Oh yeah. I would love that. It's such a good way to learn about other people, you know? It's like we have so many emotions that we can't express to other people, usually. But you can when it's a poem, right? That is so true, actually. Yeah. I think it's helping me form a more cohesive vision for the club. So I'm glad you showed me. Well, even though it was by accident. Me too. There are no accidents. I feel embarrassed at first, but now it feels like kind of good that someone else read it. I'll try to show you more of them in the future. I'd love that. Oh jeez, I'm getting distracted. Do you want to go over this recruitment brainstorm together? My brain stormed so hard. It was like a brain hurricane, a brain El Nino. My brain is a natural disaster. Sayori, that's terrible. Well, let's take a look at the list. Make cupcakes. I was hungry. Oh, that's where Natsuki got the cupcake idea from. Wow, you know, it's so cool to see like how this club came to form. Oh, I'm loving this plus edition. Let me think about this. I mean, where would we even have the chance to give people cupcakes? I don't know, when they enter through the door. Hey, welcome to the Literature Club. Want Natsuki's cupcakes? What if we said we had free cupcakes in the flyers? I'm like kind of worried that I'd bring in the wrong kinds of people, you know? Hey, Ianaro came for the cupcakes and stayed for the girls. Never mind. Ianaro, think of the literature, man. People come just for the cupcakes and then leave. Aw, nobody would do that. That would be mean. But you know, I want to find people who are really into literature, even if they don't know it yet. Let's see, the next thing on the list. Hunt for people reading books. I don't think I get it. Basically, go to the library, scout the place, and if someone is reading a book and they seem they're unoccupied with anything else, approach them and shove a flyer in their face. Yeah. Like in the morning or during lunch. And we tell them to check out the literature club. Well, the problem with that is like, wouldn't most people reading books just be doing it for an assignment or something? How do we know if they're just doing it for fun? Well, we could just ask them. But then we'd be bothering people who are trying to do schoolwork. I didn't think about that part, I'm sorry. Hey, don't apologize. You're coming up with a lot more things than I can. Oh, your next idea is to hand out flyers rather than just put them up on the wall. I'll definitely like to start doing that. Really? That's like the most natural thing that club owners do. They hand out flyers to people. Hey, I'm useful! I never said you weren't. I just need to think, what would we tell people when we're handing them out? I don't want to be like, join the literature club, you plebeian! Let's figure out how we can better engage people. What have you told them about the club activities and stuff? What club activities? Yeah, I guess it's supposed to be my job to come up with stuff like that, right? A vision for the club. Okay, Sayori, pretend you're a normal person for a second. Implying shit that Sayori isn't a normal person, you know? Wait, I didn't mean it like that. You know, like a random passerby who's getting a flyer. How would you react to the idea of getting of a literature club? Probably like, literature is stupid. I'm joining the anime club. Anime. What the heck? Sorry, I was just thinking of a friend of mine. Oh, what, Ionaro? Oh, I see how it is, Sayori. Okay, what if I said that we were, like, do group reading and discuss it together? I'd probably nap through that. That's you, Sayori. Yeah, but that doesn't sound fun to most people anyway. We need to really catch their interest, you know? This sucks. Why is this so hard? Monica, don't be sad. What do you like about literature, Sayori? Me? Oh, kind of what I said about the poem earlier. I think it gives you the best chance to express yourself. Like, express yourself in ways you can't normally do when you're just doing it your normal day and talking to your friends. I mean, we all have so many thoughts and feelings that we just don't get to share, you know? It's kind of like intimate. Yeah. How do we get that across to people? We could be like, express your true self. Be intimate with us. That could mean another thing, Sayori. Just saying. Okay, that's kind of... I'm just kidding. Oh my gosh! What is it? I forgot all my things in the classroom! I must have gotten too excited and rushed here. Ah, silly me. Rushed, but weren't... never mind. Did you want new stuff then? I'll forget if I don't do it now. Well, I'll just wait for you then. Okay, it'll only take a second. Sayori dashes out of the classroom, leaving Monica temporarily alone. Monica sighs and starts jotting her thoughts on a sheet of paper. Express yourself. Be who you want to be. Make new friends. Discover a new you. Discover your heart. No. Write your heart out. No. Write into your heart. Write the way into your heart. Join the Light Literature Club. Write the way into your heart. Wow, that's lame. You'd think so, Monica, but those words, I've seen them somewhere before. I see you. Monica! Ah! You startled me. Sorry, but it's something important. On the way to my classroom, there was a girl reading a book. Reading a book? Let's hurry and recruit her. Wait, are you sure she's not just doing homework? I could tell she was really into it. Well, I guess we could take a look. Monica grabs one of her flyers and stands up from her desk. Then the two depart from the classroom, with Sayori leading the way. Is this Yuri? This way! You don't have to run. Sayori leads Monica over to a particular classroom, then lowers her voice to a whisper. Shh! Don't want to disturb Yuri. Monica peers through the window. Sure enough, there's a girl sitting alone, intently reading her book, The Portrait of Markov. I feel like a creep doing this. You should go inside and talk to her. Me? You're the president, and I probably would scare her away. Okay, fine, I'll do it. Monica takes a deep breath, then timidly enters the classroom. That was fast. Oh my gosh, I'm so embarrassed. Why? What happened? Well, I entered the classroom and she didn't even look up from her book. So I kind of just left the flyer on her desk and walked out. That is definitely Yuri. That's kind of cute. Oh, I don't feel embarrassed, Monica. I'm sure she'll see your flyer and be very interested. But I'm sure she'll see it and want to join the club. I hope so. Shall we head back now? The two head back to the club room. Sayori felt rather accomplished, and Monika still feeling a little bit embarrassed by the encounter. Upon returning, Monika and Sayori resumed their strategy meeting. They discussed various different kinds of recruitment tactics, from professional to just plain silly. After going through Sayori's list and with Monika coming up with ideas of her own, the two engaged in a better spot than from when they began. Well, I would say today was pretty productive, wasn't it? Yeah, I think we're starting to make progress. I can't wait to get some new members. Some more friends. Hey, what's this? Sayori peers at the sheet of paper Monika was jotting on earlier. Oh, don't mind that. I was just thinking to myself. Join a literature club. Write the way into your heart? That's so cute. I just thought it was a little over dramatic. But Sayori pauses and thinks for a moment. You know, I don't think you give yourself enough credit, Monika. What? What do you mean? Like, I don't know. I feel like I can tell from talking to you today. It feels like you're always afraid of doing something wrong. Yeah, but would you call yourself a perfectionist? Yeah. I am also a bit of a perfectionist myself. Maybe that's why my videos are always like, takes a long time for them to upload. I always want them perfect, but this time, nope. I mean, I always have an idea in my head about how I want things to go. And it's like, I can't accept anything less than that. But in the end, it helps me try my hardest at everything, so I don't think it's that bad. Like with this club, we have such an opportunity to make it exactly how we envision it. But it feels like we only have one shot at one shot. Oh! Sorry, I just had a bit of a flashback. So I'm just really afraid of it deviating from that. The vision. What's the vision? It's... Monika pauses to think, then shakes her head to herself. She sighs. I don't know. I just want everyone to... Monika trails off. Smiling, Sayori taps her finger against the sheet of paper. Write the way into your heart. I think that what you're trying to do is to make the club that you need the most out of anyone. Well, you're the one who always knows yourself best, of course. But I'm here to help you. Monika returns Sayori's smile. It's sort of amazing how kind you are. We're really gonna make this the best club ever. Sayori nods and the two remain silent for a moment, lost in thought. The only sound is the steady whisper of the air conditioner. And the only movement is the afternoon sunlight trickling its way in and out of the moving clouds. Sayori breaks the moment with a big yawn. Time to go home? You tell me, you're the president. In that case, today's meeting is officially over. I'll look forward to tomorrow. Me too. Sayori beams and grabs her things. You can go on ahead. I'll need a few moments still. Oh, I can wait. That's alright, I just want some alone time. In that case... Sayori waves enthusiastically at Monika. Good luck. Monika smiles and waves in return as Sayori spins her way out of the club room. All alone, she sighs to herself and takes a minute to zone out. She wasn't prepared for the self-reflection encouraged by Sayori, but she decides it was something she probably needed right now. The club I need the most. I don't get it. I just want to start a club with more passion. Something that I could use to lead people to happiness. Well, it could be those things, Monika, but I think what Sayori's trying to say is that there's some underlying motive behind why you wanted to make this club in the first place. Maybe it's to find that happiness yourself, meet new people, make new friends, or release some inner tension. Which isn't a bad thing. It just means it's becoming part of your vision, which could be a good thing for some people, including yourself. Literature is the key to that, because it's the window to the real person inside of us. Underneath the person who's always forced to smile and blend in. The person who's forced to be Perfect. Hmm? Monica suddenly notices a folder on the floor by her desk. Did Sayori leave this behind? I hope it doesn't have her homework in it. Worried, Monica opens the folder to check. Poems. It's a folder of poems. What is this? Become the flower. A feeling of joy is a flower plucked from the ground. The color, the scent, it's so pretty in my hair. Every day I pluck some flowers, as though they grew just for me. A lifetime of peace and nourishment, yanked away in an instant. All for me, all for joy. I need more. I need more joy. I need more happy. Pluck, pluck, pluck every day. Pluck, 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 so pretty in my hair. Pluck, 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 you're going to die, and you, too. Beneath my feet, a flower stands alone. It beckons to me. I twist the stem, freeing it from its clinging roots, caressing the final, joyous moments between my fingers. But to what ends? I look in every direction, and the field I stand in, the prosperous field, is a barren wasteland. The fruits of my labor, the carnage of my joy. And that is why I have decided I must become the flower. Interesting. So this is like an outlook to more of on Sayori's depression. She's been trying to find new avenues to keep her, happy, whatever it may be, hobbies, video games, friends. But eventually you either grow numb to it or there's nothing just left for you. You've consumed it all. And so I guess her only option is to make other people happy by herself being the embodiment of happiness. In the hopes that seeing their smiling faces makes her happy again. Wait, Sayori? Oh, wow! I really like that side story. I can go for an extra. That only took 27 minutes. This will probably end at 1:40. Or do I want to leave it here? Let me do some deciding. Meanwhile, I'll take a look at the pictures. So this is the DDoC Plus Monica portrait. Very interesting, very cool. This is the poem. Nice. This is the CG. Secret. And promo. Sketches. I guess when I finish the game, I can get some sketches. Finish the game? Nah, I don't want to do that. I want to be here forever. Hey, there's new ones. And I can make my own playlist. Ooh. Okay. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I'll like do trust part number 2. Yeah, let's begin. Another day passes in a flash, and it's already time for the next club meeting. Although Monica should have come up with a plan for today's club tasks, she hasn't been able to shake her guilt and anxiety after reading Sayori's poem. I'm so stupid. How did I let myself be the center of attention? Sayori's already going through these kinds of feelings, and I'm letting her comfort me instead of the other way around. What kind of club president does that? Well, in all fairness, Monica, I don't think Sayori wanted people to know that she was feeling depressed, But that being said, now that you know that she's depressed, what do you do about it? I don't think that's a question that has a definitive answer, This whole time, I don't think to ask about her own feelings. So much for the stupid vision. Sayori enters the club room with her usual smile. But upon seeing the downcast Monica, her smile quickly fades into an expression of concern. Monica? Is everything okay? I'm really sorry. I'm such a terrible friend. Huh? Well, what are you talking about? You're an amazing friend. Monica shakes her head. I made this all about myself. Even you said so yesterday. You told me that I'm trying to make the club that I need the most, right? But my problems are so trivial compared to yours. Sayori responds quietly. What are you talking about? But as soon as she says that, her face darkens. Through the silence, Sayori mutters a realization. I left my folder here. Monica stares blankly ahead, unable to come with a response. I wasn't ready to share those. Now you're worrying about me. I don't want that. But why? We're friends, right? Wordlessly, Sayori nods. Friends look out for each other. I want to be here for you as much as you're here for me. Another long moment passes in silence. The air is incredibly heavy. This is different. This wasn't just about you yesterday. It was about the club. Besides, things were so happy yesterday. You don't need to do all this all of a sudden. I don't want it. I like happy. So, if you do this, then you're just being selfish. Monica massages her forehead, struggling through the frustration of such a paradox. It's understandable that Sayori isn't ready to share certain things. But as unfair as it is for Monica to pry, it's also painful for Monica to force herself to ignore the needs of her friend. Actually, that's interesting. Where does the line start and stop in terms of helping out someone who's, living with these sort of problems? We need to help them, but we can't do too much. But we can't also just leave them be. Yeah. I disrespected your privacy. No, I don't blame you for looking. You would have at least needed to check if it was mine. Yeah. Monica takes a deep breath. Okay. I understand that you don't want me to worry. And I think I'll be able to put this aside so that we can move on. But can you at least promise me something? Promise you what? Monica pauses to collect her thoughts. This is the Literature Club. It's a place where people can express themselves in the way that life normally cannot allow them to. That's the vision. In fact, it's our vision. Right the way into your heart, or whatever. So I want you to promise me that you'll remember that too. It doesn't have to be right now, but I want to be here for you when you need it. I want us to be ourselves like that. Sayori smiles gently. I'll promise if you promise. Unable to help it, Monica returns Sayori's smile. I promise. Me too. As the conversation closes, their mood in the room is lifted. With that behind them, it's time to proceed with the club activities. So, want to teach me about poetry? Huh? But what about recruitment? It's fine, we have plenty of time for that. But right now, I feel like I want to do this. I mean, I do have to fulfill my end of the promise, There's no way I could say no to that. Just don't expect too much. I do a lot of writing, but it's not like I'm a scholar or anything. That's fine. I think I just need some motivation. I never know where to start when it comes to writing poems. Starting isn't so hard. You just kind of need to write down your feelings and see where it takes you. Yeah, but that wouldn't come out any good. It's not supposed to. Yeah, the beauty of art is that it is allowed to have imperfections, and sometimes those imperfections can make the art blossom. You're gonna have to fight your perfectionist mind on this one. You can just start by writing your feelings and seeing what kinds of things it makes you think of. And then you can turn your feelings into a little story. You can get your feelings down first and then make it sound pretty later. It's not about like building a railroad where you need to go from one end to the other. It's more like a college where you find all the things you want to put in and you arrange them in a pretty way. Oh, collage. Sorry, not college. Sorry. At least that's how I put it. It's not like it's the only way, but it's a really good way to not get stuck right at the beginning. I understand. Yeah, I always get so caught up in how it sounds that I forget about what's actually important. The emotion behind the words. Stop being a perfectionist. You idiot. I'm just kidding. Monica scribbles out, you idiot, as she writes it down. No, keep it. What? Why? Are you calling me an idiot? No, of course not. But the point is, you're not supposed to police your feelings, right? Be as dramatic as you want. But I was just being silly, you know? Well, yeah. Underneath the scribble, Monica writes down, you idiot. She stares at the paper. The words stare back at her. It's kind of funny how I wrote down what I'm mad about myself for, and then I did the exact same thing anyway. This is really going to take some time getting used to. I believe in you. Thanks. I do too. But also you, of course. Monica continues the exercise, jotting down her thoughts. It's surprisingly quite a struggle to write without overthinking it. But after a while, with Sayori's guidance and encouragement, Monica's sheet of paper begins to look fairly lively, peppered with all of her random thoughts. Monica looks up and down her sheet. Gosh, I feel so tense looking at this. I hate it, but it's also kind of liberating. Man, Monica, how much pent up do you have? I can tell how hard you're trying. It makes me happy. I think you'll be good at writing poems. Don't give me too much credit. I'd have to try really, really hard about it, though. But I think it's something that I'll enjoy doing. With you. Sayori beams. I'll stop here, but we still have time. Let's try to work on a new flyer for the club. I won't be so picky about the language. Yay! Let's do it! Monica and Sayori proceed with their work. With each passing day, the two of them become more prominent in the club, more confident in the club. Not simply from their recruitment planning, but from their vision as well. As their bond strengthens, so does the essence of the literature club. Finally, they begin to truly feel it's only a matter of time before they find new members. Oh, okay. Another day passes. As usual, Monica is the first to the club room. With her is a printout of the revised Literature Club flyer, complete with all the new ideas Monica and Sayori came up with. If only this was the flyer we gave to the one reading The Girl the other day. It's so much more attractive than the old one. But the new catchphrase is featured clearly in the center of the flyer. Write the way into your heart. Surely common sense would say that one writes from the heart, not into the heart. But the message being delivered is that one can use writing to discover themselves. Hopefully Monica and Sayori had thought that it would be enough to garner some curiosity from students. Why do I feel so tense looking at this? It's your perfectionist side. You're probably second-guessing yourself, Monica. Nah, just let your humanity flow. Monica thinks back to the previous meeting when she performed the writing exercise. Was I always this bad at expressing myself? How am I supposed to be president if I can't even demonstrate what the club is supposed to be about? The literature club is truly beginning to take form. But with that, the weight on Monica's shoulder only becomes heavier. The debate club was always about rigid structure, formulating airtight points and counterpoints, and delivering them with conviction. It's about the person on the outside. That's why Monica was so good at it. It existed entirely within her realm of comfort. It's suffocating. Yeah, stepping outside your comfort zone, I feel that. But it's good. It's a good means of like growing character. I need to break through this mental wall. I need to express myself for real. Monica pulls out a sheet of paper and grabs her pen. She presses the tip of the pen firmly against the paper. But her hand doesn't move. Instead, a tiny blot of ink collects around the tip of her pen. Oh, now we get the advice. You know, Monica's writing tip for the day. Don't get stuck on one point. This is where she got her advice from. For some reason, she feels compelled to run her finger across it. No, you're only going to make it smudge. Yeah, as she does so, the black ink smears across the paper, ruining Monica's canvas. Ugh! Out of spite for herself, Monica presses her pen down once again, letting the ink collect. She creates a second smear on her paper. Come on, Monica. Just move your hand. Monica writes. This is what I get for seeking perfection. A stain. Darn. Monica slides the paper away from her and puts her hand down onto the desk. Her head down on the desk. The air conditioner seems louder today. I'm here! Hi! Monica hears Sayori approach her desk, then stops for a second, probably reading the piece of paper. And she sits down at the adjacent desk. Bad day? Mm-hmm. Me too. You too? The new flyer looks good. You've probably been working very hard. On the clock, but it's also something else, I think. I can't do it. I'm sorry. It's just so hard to just be vulnerable. Sayori takes the sheet of paper from Monica's desk. She writes something down that stares at it for a while. Can I trust you? Of course. You can trust me with anything. Sayori gazes at Monica with sadness in her eyes. Understanding the signal, Monica takes the paper from Sayori's desk and reads it. It's another poem. Sometimes I want to die. Sayori. This is really, really hard for me, you know? Her voice shakes. So, if I can do it, then you can too. Because you're like a million times better than me. That's completely not true. Sayori takes a deep breath, trying to steady herself. That's something about me I've never been able to tell anybody before. Even now, my head's like screaming at me to stop. Wait, you don't have to force yourself. I mean, just because of the promise yesterday. I want to. It just feels right. I mean, maybe it's part of the reason I came to this club in the first place. This is the literature club. I trust you more than I am scared. At those words, Monica stands up. Sayori must have taken days to work up the courage for this. Were Monica's own futile but genuine efforts actually the push that Sayori needed? Sayori's deliberate breaths can be heard over the air conditioner. As she prepares to continue, Monica waits in gentle silence. I have this problem where I get really upset when people worry about me too much. I can't control it. It's like, why waste your energy worrying about me when you can just be happy instead? So I never tell anyone about these kinds of things, the kinds of thoughts that I have. It's so much easier to just smile and help everyone be happy. But that's terrible. That's what Monica wanted to say, but she stops herself in fear of saying the wrong thing. It's just that if everyone knew about it, they wouldn't treat me the same anymore. Like whenever I'm not smiling, everyone would worry about me and ask me what's wrong. I know that because it's used to be like that. Sayori pauses, seeming seeming to recall something in the past. I just want everyone to be happy. That's the most important thing to me. And letting people look inside my head doesn't bring happiness to anyone. Sayori pauses again, her solemn expression making her look almost like an entirely different person. How did you find the courage to tell me this? You're not worried I'll be one of those people too? I am worried. Part of me really hates myself for doing this. But another part of me, I think, just feels like it would be different this time. Whenever we talk about the club, what the club is supposed to mean, I keep feeling like it was right for me to do. Especially if, after you've been trying so hard to express yourself too. It just made me feel like I could say it in confidence and our friendship wouldn't have to change. It's so silly. The club is only 2 people, but it already means this much to me. Monika feels a tightening sensation in her heart. A feeling of connection as Sayori's emotions radiate between them. Me too. I was so lost until you showed up. You're so brave, Sayori. You're so strong and brave. I don't even compare. Monika steps forward. But if nothing else, I can at least offer you some hug energy. If you'd like. Wordlessly, and without a smile, Sayori rests her forehead on Monika's shoulders. Through their contact, Monika can almost feel the torrent of thoughts swimming in Sayori's head. And in this moment, enchanted by the air of the club, Monika realizes that out of all the days that have passed, this is the one where she really, really hopes that nobody new walks through the door. She speaks softly. You're like the sweetest girl I've ever met. You can say anything, I'll never judge you. I promise. Sayori's breath begins to quiver. She takes several breaths, trying as hard as she can to start speaking, to say the things she never once dared to say out loud. Finally, she speaks in a choked voice. I'm so worthless. I'm worthless, and everyone would be better off without me. She suppresses a sob as her tears fall down her cheek. I'm just an inconvenience to everyone. No, you're not, Sayori, please. Hurts to hear you say that. I'm not good at anything. It just makes me feel like everyone has to put up with me, and I hate it. I hate it. The more Sayori speaks, the more she fails to control her voice, falling victim to the overwhelming sadness clutching at her throat and chest. I don't want to have these thoughts. I want him to go away, and now I'm making you put up with me. I just want to die. As soon as Sayori loses her composure, Monika becomes determined to keep her own. She only wants to be what Sayori needs right now, so she won't let any sadness show. Her voice comes through as soft and gentle. This isn't putting up with you. It's just being your friend. Monika only offers a few words of comfort, but she knows, Sayori said it herself, that the thoughts Sayori experiences are ones that don't belong, and Monika can't magically make them go away. The most she can do is help Sayori battle them, like any good friend would do. You have so much value, Sayori. To me, and your other friends too. This club wouldn't have been the same without you. It probably wouldn't even exist. I really, really mean that. You coming here was the best thing that could have ever happened. Even if we never got any other members, I still would be happy. That's what you brought me here. You brought us a vision, and you also brought happiness and realization. And that's your favorite thing to do, right? Sayori doesn't respond, but Monika feels her gentle nod. No more words are needed between them. The two share their embrace for a while. Monika lets Sayori take as much time as she needs. Once her breathing steadies and her sniffles fully cease, Sayori lifts her head and wipes her eyes. I guess I needed that. Some days are harder than others. Well, I'm here whenever you need me. But any other time, I'll make sure things are the way they usually were. And that's what makes you happy. Thanks. You're the best. No, you are. No, you both are. The two exchange smiles. You know, I'm sorry to bring this all up all of a sudden, but have you considered talking to a professional? Sayori nods. It's scary. I'm sure it is. Since it's already so hard to tell people. Yeah. Well, of course, it'll always be your choice, but if you're ever looking to find the courage for it, I can do my best to help you. Thanks. I think it helps knowing that you would. Sayori suddenly yawns and stretches. Wow! That made me really tired. And hungry. Well, I won't make you do any more work today if you're not up for it. No, I want to. I mean, I can say that it's definitely one thing that makes me happy. Monica smiles. But I might want to get a snack first. All of a sudden, the sound of the door causes the two of them to turn their heads. The door opens halfway, then stops. A face peeks inside. A face that seems familiar. Is that Yuri? Oh, that was so good. I like these side stories. Not only do we get like a backstory to how the literature club first formed, we get like a backstory to, you know, how they came to be the people that we encounter in the main story of DDLC. You know, the journey they took to get there. Ah. Yeah, I really like these side stories. Oh, I'm glad I actually fully committed to this DDLC Plus. I mean, I would have been fine if it was just some changes of dialogue here and there in the main DDLC story. Well, these are like full-blown chapters. In fact, I'm clocking in at 2 hours. 2-hour episode. Hopefully you guys aren't too bored. Nah, with this game, no way. If you are bored, what are you doing here, honestly? Yeah. But another thing is that, you know, Monica said that she recently got an epiphany in the main DDLC story, so I'm kind of curious about that. Is this, like, side stories Monica, the version of Monica prior to her realization that she's in, you know, this alternate reality or whatever? She's, like, normal. She doesn't see everyone as just code or NPCs. Interesting. Maybe there'll be a side story that delves into that. But yeah, oh man, that was so good. I wonder if I got any new pictures. Yay, I got a Sayori, which I used for my thumbnail. Classic. I got the poems. I got the CG. Anyways, that's going to have to do it for this episode, guys. I could go on, make this maybe a 12-hour episode. Huh? Then my subscribers won't be complaining. Not complaining, but every now and then I get a bit of a, hey, TK35, where's DDD Season 2 coming out? Look, I am working on it on the side, okay? I'm actually trying to balance these things a lot. It's just, now I've got a new set of people waiting for this DDLC Plus series. And, yeah, I have to... I'm always giving myself more work. Especially considering the fact that DDD Season 2 has a bit of a roadblock. And that roadblock being 2 more projects that I plan to make. Something playable and something watchable. If you made it this far, I might as well spoil what this playable thing is. It's a Gaster versus Ianaro DDD episode. And don't worry, it's not like they're on bad terms. It's more like a sparring match of sorts. And let's just say you get to play one of them. Can't wait for that. Once I actually, you know, finish it. I'm about 60 to 75% of the way there. I just need to polish things up. The perfectionist side of me cannot allow this to be released until everything is perfect. I've got your little thing, Monica. I'm also dealing with perfectionism, which can be good, but yeah. And that's gonna have to do it. My final reflections. In terms of like being depressed, yeah, it's hard to balance that out. Like you can't do too much, otherwise you'll overwhelm them, and maybe they don't even want you there. But you can't just leave them alone, or something even worse could happen. So I guess the only thing you could do is let them know that you'll always be there when they need it. Now, it doesn't mean they'll automatically come to you in situations like this, but at least you'll make yourself available. At least they'll know that there's at least a pillar of support helping them up. I think that's the best thing we can do when we're around, loved ones or friends who are depressed. Just be there for them. Anyways, I had to quit because I might get too emotional. I gotta say, I almost cried a little bit. But yeah, toodaloo, guys. I will see you tomorrow, hopefully. If this gets edited in time. See you later.